people have asked me, why is my teenager so distant? Teenagers are no longer children, but they are not yet adults. They still need us parents. The most important thing to keep doing, no matter what, is to keep the communication going. But how do you do this when your son and your daughter are so distant? When I was a teenager, I spent many hours in my room listening to music, reading, and loved being on my own and having time out. I was also a bit of a deep thinker and had a bit of an identity crisis going on as well. So having parents that would be continually asking me questions really pushed my buttons. When I became a parent myself, I learned that this was just a stage that many teenagers go through. I also learned from studying the 4 DISC personality styles that a high S style needs time out to recharge their batteries while other styles don't. I learned that I was also a high S style. You see, in the DISC model, there are 2 types of styles that are extroverted and 2 that are introverted, and each have their different needs and emotions. Now, teenagers all want to feel grown up, and the more we respect this and they feel mature, the happier they'll be. We need to adjust how we treat them and how we speak to them as well. Now, the D-style teen likes to be in control and doesn't like you constantly telling them what to do. No, don't do that. So it's about trusting they will make the right choices, and it's also about setting clear boundaries with them. Now, what do I mean by setting clear boundaries? Well, for example, that you have clear family ground rules would be a great start, but make sure that everyone is committed to these rules. And also, on the other hand, if you are a parent that likes to be in control, then it's up to you to adjust your approach with your teen, especially if they become distant. And it's also about giving them some space and allowing them to come to you when they need to, and they will come to you when they need to. Now, this can be challenging for an I-style parent because they like to be included and accepted for who they are. They don't like to be left out because their personal fear is rejection. So you can imagine how they might feel when their teen is pulling away from them and distancing themselves from the family by spending a lot of time in their bedroom, for example. And it's not about giving them lots of freedom either. So deep down, all teens need, and often want, by the way, boundaries. If you're a C-style parent, because of your need for perfectionism, you tend to be overly criticizing of your teen, and they will feel like every time they're at home, they're going to be picked on. They will look for ways to avoid or not be at home. So they'll avoid you, or they might be constantly going out all the time. So at the end of the day, it's all about self-awareness and knowing when to practice empathy and understanding for adapting your approach with your teenager. And I've been so thankful that I learned about my DISC style and my husband's DISC style as well when my children were teenagers, and I was able to apply what I learned in the relationship that we each had with one another in the family. So if you'd like to learn what your DISC style is, you might like to visit us at peoplesmartworld.com. That's www.peoplesmartworld.com, and take a DISC assessment. Oh, and guess what? The good news is it's a free assessment. And while you're there, why not invite your teenager to take one as well and find out what style they are? You never know. You just might learn something about each other that might surprise you.